Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, how is that not taken into account? They're like, well, what you're paying now,
right?
You have to be able to pay on your mortgage times 1,000 or whatever. And you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
No. I don't know. I think it's all trash. I think the government sucks. I think the man sucks. I think everything just can suck it. And that's fine.
I remember our neighbors.
We'll figure out life.
I might have said this last time, but when we first moved in, or I say it a lot, so it's all good.
I think you say it every podcast.
Our neighbors moved.
Here's the repeat hour.
Our neighbors.
Say it one more time.
Our neighbors. When we first moved in.
Yeah.
They go, just out of curiosity, how much are you paying? We're like, $1,200. They threw up in my face.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, that's like twice what our mortgage is.
Yeah, they're
And I go, well, you've been
established
here for a while. And they go, yeah, we have been here for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
And then at that time we were looking around and it was like, oh, we are paying probably some of the higher rent spectrum of Spokane at that time.
Yeah.
Now we are at the lowest end.
Yeah. The highest is like 2,000.
There's a
$2,500.
There's one
rental.
for $3,800 on South Hill.
Sorry.
It's a nice house. $3,800 a month.
Which, I'm sorry, but if you can afford $3,800 a month, just buy a house.
Yeah, right?
Why are you renting? Who's fucking around with that?
Yeah, what are you in the cartel? Like, fucking buy a house, man.
Who just has $3,800 to fucking blow every month out of their fucking asshole?
Not in Spokane. No one's like, well, I got work there. I'm going to rent a house.
And that's another thing. I see a lot of Teslas in Spokane. I'm like, who the fuck is living here?
Yeah.
There's a lot of meth. I wouldn't be surprised if most of those Tesla drivers are
There's
meth
a
heads.
house down the street. And by the way.
That has a Porsche. Are you talking about that one?
Yeah, 2 Porsches. Because all of a sudden they pulled out of one in the garage and I was like, that's a nice 911.
They have fucking Porsches.
And they pulled off and I'm like, we're in the ghetto. What's going on?
Yeah.
Like our fucking neighbor got tased in the street last week.
Oh, yeah. That was a whole brawl and thing.
That was
crazy.
exciting.
That was insane. I was folding laundry and Marty was downstairs talking to his boss. And I was folding laundry and I look out the window and this fucking kid on his dirt bike drives by at like 80, maybe 90 miles per hour. And then I shake my head and I'm like, what a douchebag. In that second, I see a car come from this intersection and I'm like, there's no way that they did not hit. And there was like a clack. It was like a click. That's all I heard. And I was like, well, maybe he got nicked. And then I see people start running down the street. So then I grab my phone. I call 911. I step outside. This motherfucker launched from the kid on the dirt bike.
Intersection.
From the intersection.
Half a block
In. Smacked into the back of
He
this
probably would have kept sliding.
Electrician's car.
Yeah, big transit van.
And was just in the ground, limp. So, turns out...
LOL.
Kid was fine somehow. Don't know how. Don't get it.
Yeah.
But he was fine. And so his friends come back with the truck to like pick up his dirt bike and like they get out of the car. Everyone's fucking high emotions. One of our neighbors is yelling at the guy that hit the kid because he always drives too fast anyways down that area. No parties were correct, however. Just they all fucked up.
Yeah, 2 wrongs make a get the fuck out of my neighborhood.
Yeah. So their friends come back and they're talking shit in the street. Our neighbor across the street goes up to the kids and says, you guys need to stop fucking driving so fast in this neighborhood. You guys need to be careful. You need to have your helmets on. He's lecturing them. Yeah,
and they're like, bro, that's our friend. Fuck you. Fuck you, bro. This is our fucking friend, bro.
And he's like, I get that, but I'm telling you, fucking be good to yourself. Like, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And in a sense, he was also talking shit, but...
Yeah. He's like, I don't fucking care who your friend is.
Yeah.
Stop driving dangerously down my street. And we got kids here. You little fucking shitheads. And they're like, fuck you, bro. Fuck you.
Yeah. And they're like, what? 17-year-olds?
Yeah, they're
a
fucking
group
kids.
of fucking 17 assholes.
Little punks.
17-year-old assholes. So then one of those kids starts riding his little scooter back and forth in front of the guy that just lectured them. He's riding a scooter back and forth.
By the way, nothing funnier than a guy trying to act tough on a rented lime scooter. He's all, comes by and just like mad dogging you.
Yeah, right? It's like if someone were to do it, what are those things called? Not a Segway. Is it a Segway?
Yeah.
Remember those fucking things that people were riding for a while?
Yeah,
those
the little two-wheel fucking...
stupid shit things.
Looks like a podium from the future.
Yeah. So it's like if anyone were trying to mad dog you on a Segway, like that's what this is equivalent to. So, like, you know, like your pelvic is like thrusted out and you're just like, You
want to fucking go, bro?
So yeah, so he's going back and forth and talking shit every time and like just staring at him. And so the guy, the parent that yelled at these kids, I won't say it was his best moment, but I also don't know if I would have done anything different. And I thought it was very comical at first because I didn't realize what was going to happen. But he comes down his stairs, he follows the scooter, and they punched each other. I'm not going to say who threw the first punch. But all I have to say is a full-blown adult got so fucking pissed with this kid that he was willing to throw down with him in front of like
at this point
15 officers.
there's like 6 of those kids who are like lime scooter walking, some of them with their shirts off and shit.
Yeah, they've taken their shirts off.
And now it's our neighbor and his 2 sons, and they're kind of like, you know, escorting them out of the neighborhood while talking shit, basically. And yeah, as soon as one punch was thrown, it was just brawl. Full
all of them.
Brawl.
Like, you know when you see the cartoons where like like a bunch of cartoons get in a fight and it's just a big cloud dust?
Yeah.
And you just see legs and arms and things?
Yeah,
That's
so
exactly
it looks like,
what it was. And so that happens, and then our neighbor, the parent, gets fucking sucker punched. He got sucker punched.
Yeah.
And then his kid gets punched, and then his kid starts punching the other kids, and there's all this fight happening, and then
Then all of a
finally
sudden the cops are running.
the cops like realize what's happening and fucking run, which I don't know how none of them were paying attention this entire time, watching this slowly unfold, because it wasn't very far from them. It was like 2 houses down from all of their cop cars. I was like
6 cop cars.
Yeah, so there's like 15 officers that run over. Mind you, the people across the street, their kids are black, dad's black. And guess who gets singled out and arrested and tased?
Yeah.
The black kid.
Doesn't look good for blue lives anymore.
Oh, at that point, I was like, fuck everything. Everything that's happening is so stupid. I don't care if your friend just got hurt. You had the fucking nerves to go and instigate a fight. And you're not sitting on the curb with your hands cuffed like this fucking kid is? I don't give a fuck. All of those kids should have been fucking cuffed. All of them should have been tased.
Yeah. That one little tall scrawny kid.
With the curly hair.
He should have been tased so hard.
By the way, there's like multiple Ring videos of him breaking into vehicles. He's a very distinct fucking kid.
Yeah. He's been spray painting cameras and breaking people's shit.
He's been handcuffed a few times.
And yeah, even our neighbor goes, he goes, go back to your parents. And he goes, I live on the streets.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because that's what she was like.
Oh, yeah. She goes, where are your parents?
Yeah, she's like, where are your fucking parents? Like, she was pissed. I was pissed. And, yeah, she was like, where are your fucking parents? And he was like, I live on the streets.
It's like, oh, yeah, you bought those Jordans yourself? Sure.
Yeah. And then I was laughing, actually, because our neighbors' kids also were saying really funny things.
Oh, they were saying the funniest
It
shit.
was like watching a bunch of little baby bulldogs think that they were big pit bulls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was the cutest thing because you
better fucking run. You better fucking run.
What did he say? One call, now sweep these streets.
We sweep these streets.
That was the funniest thing.
I started laughing and I was like, that's what Cricket thinks he does when he barks outside. He thinks he's sweeping these streets.
I was sweeping these streets.
Oh, that shit was funny.
I think his parent was like, get the fuck inside. He's like,
Yeah.
but I mean,
For as crazy and out of hand as that situation escalated, I'll hand it to the cops that they de-escalated it well.
And they
chose the wrong kid because that was so racist.
Yeah.
To pick the only black kid who didn't throw the first punch. But, those little fucking white kids are pieces of shit. But.
And he was listening because the cops told them to stop and he stopped. And they still arrested him. And I think that's when.
Well, luckily, I think one of their captains was that big black dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, uncuff him.
Yeah.
Let's, obviously he wasn't the fucking one.
Yeah.
Who started this thing.
And then, and the parent obviously flipped out on the cops and he had every right to fucking do so. And
if it was my son out there, I'd be fucking straight up arrested.
For sure. And I will say that they let him speak his mind and they let him do it without cuffs on. They let him fucking have full reign of just yelling at them and letting it out. So there was that respect, and the cops and this guy know each other because the lady on the corner fucking eats cookies with them at midnight.
That's what we're calling it.
Yeah. Fucking, I think she's just like big pleasure town for all the cops. They because it's true. Darren, or, fucking, I know, I said the name. You gotta
No, it's cool. It's cool.
But I've seen cop cars outside of her house at very odd hours.
Yeah.
And it's not ever the same cop.
Yeah.
And my tax dollars are paying for you to go get some cookies.
They're getting their nightstick cleaned, you know what I'm saying? It's disturbing. And I think that we all have every right on the street to fucking talk shit to you guys because we know what you do. But the next day, I thought it was cool. The welder lady down the street, who's also an RN, she's got the craziest work history. Yeah, she's really, she's pretty nuts.
And she's always fucking drunk or high or something. I don't know what her deal is, but
she could come up to me and be like, why, I was personal security, Richard Nixon.
And then she
then she'll show you a picture and you're like, what the fuck? Like, you're serious? Like,
and she starts out, she'll come over and she'll start talking normal. And then all of a sudden
stop. Jesus.
And then all of a sudden she gets this weird, crazy voice. And it's like her opioids just kicked in or something.
All of a sudden she starts powering down.
Yeah. So she went over and she actually told those parents that she wanted to talk to their kids personally. And she let the kids know that what the cops did was wrong and they were not in the wrong, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
'Cause it's true. And it could have been handled differently. It could also have ended way terribly worse.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, because I was thinking about this, I think in Washington State, you can, other states, you can't fight in public. It's illegal to fight another person.
Yeah.
It's still assault no matter what you do. In Washington, I think if both parties agree to fight,
you can have a brawl.
Yeah, you can fight. I think that's why no one was arrested. Because they could have arrested everyone in that fight.
Yeah.
Even, juvenile.
Yeah.
But
it was just it's
fun times.
It was nice to talk to Jackie or Marty. But it was nice to talk to them and just kind of, I don't know. Now that I'm pregnant and even before, I would hear these stories and I'd be really fucking upset about them.
Yeah.
Because I it's awful. It's fucking everything's crooked, everything is lopsided, and there is systemic racism. There's issues, and